What up, you guys? So, to my friend Tech Gamer, this one's for you, bro. I want to start this podcast by saying I'm 28. I live at my mom's house. You know what I mean? A lot of people would have something about that. But the thing about life is, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna meet people in this world that their income is significantly bigger than yours, and they think that that means something. Cool that you have money, but sometimes in this world, the way life works, sometimes the person who's making fun of you, maybe they have $200,000, and 1 year later, after they made fun of you, they're a strung out crackhead and they have zero. And then, within the same time, 2 years later, you know, you're a millionaire, or you've now arrived and the tables have turned. And that could happen at any moment, you know what I mean? So sometimes people think, stuff is funny, which I have empathy for people that want to make jokes. It's like, you know what I mean? I feel like if that's what they prefer to be doing with their time, they have the right to make whatever type of jokes they want. The reason I'm unaffected is because I don't value their opinion enough to want to dwell on it and then have an opinion about their opinion on me. You know what I mean? Let me turn that off. So fear of failure, man. To be honest, I think we care a lot what our peers think of us. We care a lot what our parents think of us. Primarily what they think about our L. Over these last 5 years, I've been taking major L's when it comes to like losing $4,000. So I'm gonna talk about my losses in this podcast a lot. Losing $4,000, probably a little bit more than that. Spent a lot on training programs and just trying to learn stuff. I joined a lot of businesses that I half-heartedly attempted to be good at, but anything you half-heartedly attempt, you won't be good at unless you put your whole body, mind, and soul into it. You know what I mean? So my L is my L. You know what I mean? Like, so when people, if someone tries to make fun of that, it's like, what the fuck? You think you're perfect? You have zero L's under your belt. You know what I mean? So me just realizing, and a lot of this realization comes from just, I listen to a lot of Gary Vee. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these thoughts are not my own. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these thoughts, they've been adopted through me listening to somebody who is emotionally much more stronger than I am. You know what I mean? So when it comes to fearing failure, specifically fearing, give me a second, fear of failure, facing your fears, you gotta have faith. You know what I mean? The reason a lot of people don't have faith in a brighter future is because they get so sucked into the present that they're like, man, fuck, man, maybe life is always gonna be like this. Maybe I'm always gonna suck. Maybe I'm never gonna accomplish anything. Maybe I'm always gonna drive a Honda. Maybe I'm always gonna live in the projects. Maybe I'm always, and we start thinking like that because we've probably been in those situations for like 7 years now, 8 years now, 10 years now. And sometimes we start saying, oh, well, it's been 10 years. What's another 5 or what's another 2? And we start adding time to it. So I feel like, whatever you want to succeed at, and success is different to everybody. Some people think $1 million is a success. Some people think waking up in the morning and doing whatever the hell you want to do, whenever you want to do it, without a boss telling you what to do. Some people think that's success. Some people think it's like just following your dream, and however much money you make, as long as you're happy and you're good and you have 2 meals a day and you have a place to live. Some people think that's success. And then some people, their bar has been set so low that they think they're successful in their own mind just because, well, at least I'm not some starving person in Nigeria. And then we compare ourselves to people in other countries and say, well, at least I'm better off than that person. And it's cool to be better off than someone else is, but that has zero to do with your potential. You know what I mean? Because although maybe you make $15,000 a year, 20,000, I don't know, 25,000, and although that's enough to pay the bills, to be satisfied with that means that you'll never elevate. It means that if you're capable of $300,000, you'll never get there because you're complacent with whatever you have. You know what I mean? So complacency could lead to not fulfilling your dreams. You know what I mean? And so I'm going to talk about a lot of different things, and I'm going to try to equate all these things to your specific question, which is fear of failure. So you got to ask yourself, do you fear your failure as much as you fear what people are going to say about your failure? Because a lot of people, that's how they feel. You know what I mean? They feel like, yo, people are going to judge my failure. Like, yo, for me, I didn't give a fuck that I used to live with a wife and husband. They had like 3 kids. I used to sleep on a couch. That was my living circumstances for a while, right? For a huge part of my life, bro, I lived off other people. A lot of people have an issue with that because they equate being a man to, having a job. And I understand what they're trying to say, and I have more empathy for their opinion now than I've ever had. Like I used to be mad when people couldn't mind their business and just live their own life. And then I realized, yo, you know what? People are not gonna, people focus on what they want to be focusing on. Who the hell am I to say what you shouldn't focus on? Like some people prefer to focus on other people's life rather than their own life, But people used to tell me, yo, don't you feel bad that this is your living circumstance? Don't you feel, I've never felt bad because I believe, you know what I'm saying? I believe all the shit that I get on these podcasts and talk about me being capable of. I believe that for real. And if I believe that for real, how could I ever have any doubt? How could I ever let anyone get into my head and make me feel like I can't do something? You know what I mean? First of all, when people talk to you like that, bro, and they tell you you can't do something, usually it's only a reflection. Usually it's only a reflection of how they feel about themselves. You know what I mean? Like if someone feels like they can't do anything, of course they're gonna project that onto you. You know what I mean? Like I say this all the time in my podcast. What's up, Delonte? What's going on, bro? I say this all the time in my podcast, bro. But like, you know why I think it's possible for you to make $5,000 a week from your smartphone and your laptop? I believe it for you because I believe it for me. You know what I'm saying? And to the same degree that I believe things are possible for me, I believe that for a lot of people. Now I know there's different things that we're all capable of. Like not everybody's going to be the LeBron James and Michael Jordan, So I understand like the idea of being practical and not bleeding into delusion. Because, some people might have, like I've met people who they want Bill Gates money, but, they watch 8 hours of Netflix per day. And it's like, bro, you know that watching 8 hours of Netflix per day, it decreases your chances of ever having Bill Gates money, right? Because that man was dedicated to what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like he had zero time for leisure, or not while he was building it. I'm sure right now he has all the time in the world for leisure. But at the time of him building his empire, he had to focus on building the empire. You know what I mean? So depending on what you want, and not everybody has to want huge dreams. I hear Gary Vee talk all the time. He's like, yo, I want to buy the New York Jets, but I'm not asking you to want to buy the New York Jets, because he has people contacting him all the time. They're like, yo, you want the New York Jets? I'm going to buy the Buffalo Bills, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. They'll say something like that. Like, oh, you're going to buy the Jets? I'm going to buy the Giants, and it makes people feel like they should want to buy a sports team just because that's one of his ambitions. And his ambition, he's going to need like, I don't know, somewhere between $3 billion to $5 billion. I mean, I don't know how much it costs to buy a sports franchise. I'd imagine it's very damn expensive. The reason his goal is set so big is because it keeps him working. You know what I mean? It keeps him moving up to this next thing. There's this concept that if you aim for the moon, right? If you aim for the moon and if you fail, so what? Because you land on the stars, but at least you aimed up. You know what I mean? At least you know what I mean? So, and if you don't land on the stars, you'll land on somewhere in the atmosphere. And if not there, then somewhere on a cloud. And if not on a cloud, maybe somewhere a little bit lower than that. But you'll be a lot higher than you would be if you set the bar ridiculously low. You know what I'm saying? So for him, in his mind, he loves the game so much. His philosophy is, I love the idea of trying to get rich more than actually becoming rich. You know what I mean? Because he just likes he likes working. He likes working 15 hours a day, 18 hours a day. And I seen this video, which I'm gonna send to you as well, bro, where he was like, yo, man, it's impossible for you to work 15 hours a day at something on a daily basis unless you love that one thing that you do without you getting burnt out. Because that's another question people ask. Yo, what if I get burnt out? What if I put so much time into this that I just get so overwhelmed? And it's like, well, obviously, dude, take care of your mental health and physical health. Don't die in the pursuit of your dreams because you're overworking yourself. But you know what I'm saying? When you love doing something, it's nothing for you to do something 15 hours a day on a daily basis. I mean, when you're infatuated with it, it's like no big deal, and there's a lot of people with talents that they would love to monetize their talents. And if they could be doing that 15 hours a day, just working on their talent and finding a way to monetize it, that would mean everything to them. You know what I'm saying? Like this video I'm gonna send you, I remember he started by saying, he said, what if you could be, well off listening to 15 hours of music per day? You know what I mean? He was like, somebody would, some people would sign up for that. If you could get paid to listen to music and pay all your bills with that, they would gladly listen to music 15 hours a day because they love that so much. He was like, I would never sign up for that because I don't like music that much. Music is cool, but I love my life so much, And I saw this other video where he was talking about escapism. And he says that we use escapism to escape our real life because, life is tragic, life is harsh, you know what I mean? But all the time that we spend escaping, we never spend any time like trying to figure out how to obtain the life that we really want, you know what I mean? Because fear gets in the way, doubt gets in the way, worry, panic, you know what I mean? For the most case, like a lot of us, we're obsessed with the worst case scenario. We obsess over what could possibly go wrong. We never obsess over what could possibly go right. For some reason, we're more prone to negativity. I remember I was talking to somebody about Uber, right? And I was like, yo, somebody's story, it really inspires me because they make like $96,000 in a year doing Uber. I was like, yo, that's fire, man. That's what's up. So it inspired me to get my license, and now I got my license. Now I got a car, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm about to, I can't do Uber, unfortunately, because like they need you to have your license for a year. But there's other like food delivery jobs that I can't wait to start doing because like, I don't know. A lot of people drive for free, like on the way to work, and they don't get compensated for the drive there. I was like, oh, why not drive? Yeah, I think driving is cool. Why not, monetize that? That's actually that'd be fun for me. So, anyways, where the hell was I going with the story? I forgot. Oh yeah, okay. People being obsessed with the worst case scenario. Yo, so like I've spoken to a lot of people about this whole Uber thing. I'm like, yo, would you ever, if you could make 100 grand a year doing Uber, would you do it? They was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want random ass people sitting behind me in my car seat. Like, I'm like, I even asked somebody because a thought popped in my head. I'm like, what are you worried that? Are you scared someone's going to slit your throat from behind you while you're driving? They actually said, yeah. They said, yeah, that's a potential. That's something they're scared of. So even though that's like a worst case scenario, and I'm not going to lie, like someone slitting your throat while you're driving from behind you, that's definitely within possibility. But it doesn't mean just because we imagine it that it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But when fear is our dominating emotion, that becomes our reality. You know what I'm saying? Like we really believe that's actually going to happen, and it prevents us from being an Uber driver, and then it prevents us from making $100,000 in a year. Like fear, you know what I'm saying? And maybe there's a part of us that would love to be an Uber driver, but we're like, oh, fuck that. I don't want random people sitting behind me because I don't know what they're going to try. I don't know what type of malicious intent they're going to have. You know what I'm saying? And I understand, people say, yo, don't be naive. Don't think that there's not people in this world that would try to do something to you. Of course, there's crazy people, but, when you really trust God, why are you going to fear man when you really trust God for real? Like, why would you fear any intention of man? There's a scripture in the Bible that says, don't fear the man that could take your life, but rather fear the man that after your life is taken could destroy your soul after that. You know what I mean? Fear that person, which is God. You know what I mean? So, for me personally, the more that I trust God, the less that I have to fear humans. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I'm naive and I think the humans are incapable of doing something. Like, yo, man, I could get shot and die right now. I understand that. But, you know what I mean? If God is really for me, right? There's a scripture that says who can be against me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean that I arrogantly like go outside looking for problems, because there's people that they learn jujitsu and then they try to bully people and they don't respect the art form of martial arts. You know what I mean? Like they'll use it to try to mess with people, but the point of learning martial arts is to hopefully never get in a fight ever again. You know what I mean? But if you ever have to, and if it's ever 9 people against you, at least you're well equipped to beat all 9 people because you know what the hell you're doing. That's the point of martial arts. You know what I mean? It's not meant to like bully people. But anyways, I have no idea how I got off on all that stuff. But so if you're scared of failure, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm gonna give you some examples, right? There's probably somebody right now with $100,000 in their bank account, right? And they want to start a restaurant. Like they've always wanted to be a chef. They always wanted to cook. They really like, I met this one dude, bro, like on a sideline story. He makes pizza and he loves making pizza so much, like that when his order, like he gives a lot of samples of, new recipes he's working on. And he actually sits there and he watches the customer's face to see that first moment when they take a bite into his pizza and see how much they enjoy it. And he says it brings him joy to realize that people like his food that much. You know what I mean? He says he says waiting on that moment when they, when they first take a bite into the pizza, he says that means everything to him. And this dude, he looks old. He looks like 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he really loves it. You know what I'm saying? Like society would try to take a shit on him for saying like, yo, like your biggest goal is being a pizza maker, dude. That's it. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like, yo, like maybe that's just him. Like that's, I don't know, man. I mean, I do admit sometimes like when I look at people's goals, I'd be like, man, you just want to buy a house. That's it. Like you don't want to change anyone's life. You don't want to like try to help people. But that, I guess, that's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people's biggest goal is buy a house, have a family, have decent money, retire and die. But it's like, no one talks about living a purpose-driven life. No one talks about trying to monetize your talents. No one talks about, because of the state of the internet, so many things are possible. There's Instagram influencers, you know what I mean? Like there's people you think people on Instagram with 2 million followers, that means nothing? Like they have people reaching out to them all the time saying, hey, can you sponsor my product? Can you take a picture or video and then write something in the caption that says something about my product? Because they know that if you have 2 million followers, a percentage of your followers is going to convert into sales for the person that wants you to advertise their product on your page. You know what I'm saying? And that's called being an Instagram influencer. Like, you know? So like, yo, being on Instagram could be a job. It could be, you know what I'm saying? Being on Facebook, I'm sure there's probably a way to monetize that, you know? Like all these social medias, there's a way to monetize it. So, so the fear of failure comes from just not believing in whatever you set out to do, right? Maybe you just have a lack of faith that it's going to pan out the way that you think it would. But if you never try, like, how will you ever know? What's up, Terry? What's going on, bro? How will you ever know? Like, you don't know what's the consequence of, like, because you could avoid success and just be like, oh, it's safer to not even try, because people are like, yo, if I fail, people equate failure to dying or something. Like a failure is gonna, bro, I've taken so many L's. I'm still alive, bro. Like I've lost 4 grand these last 4 years, 5 years. That's okay. The reason that doesn't piss me off is because I'm gonna recuperate all that shit when I make a couple $100,000. You know what I'm saying? And people ask all the time, how is it gonna happen and how this and how that. I don't explain my plans to limited thinking people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you got huge goals, Ted, you know what I mean? If you're around a bunch of limited people, they're never gonna see what you're talking about because your vision wasn't given to them. You know what I'm saying? It was given to you by God. Like, so don't get mad at people that don't see your vision. They probably don't have a vision for themselves. So it's going to be impossible for them to have any vision for you. They're going to tell you to be practical. They're going to tell you to be realistic. They're going to tell you to get a job. They're going to tell you to be a basic ass human being just like everybody else, because maybe they're basic as hell, and basic people project their basicness onto you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I notice about people, bro, like motivational people, they're always going to motivate. Inspiring people inspire. Happy people spread happiness. Miserable people, they spread misery. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when people speak to you about your dreams, bro, if they're being condescending, it's probably a reflection of how they feel internally about themselves and about their dreams. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, their highest hope, a lot of people in America, their highest hope is, man, I hope I get paid soon. You know what I mean? Or as soon as I get paid, I don't know how I'm going to get the money for this bill. Yo, a lot of people, their biggest goal is getting a fucking bill paid. Like, it's like, bro, that's it. Your highest goal is barely surviving, barely sustaining, barely like, you know what I'm saying? What about your hobbies, bro? Like, why'd you let that die? Like, why'd you let society get in your head and tell you you're incapable of doing everything? It's because you value people's opinion. And I thank God personally, I don't give a fuck about my own mother's opinion of me. I don't. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll listen. Like, don't think that when I say that means that I won't listen to anybody speak. I'll give you the liberty of you speaking to me, but I won't give you the liberty of your opinion meaning so much to me that late at night I dwell on, man, how could you have that opinion on me? Because I have empathy and I feel like you have the right to have whatever fucking opinion you want. Like, who am I to try to designate for you what your opinion should be? You know what I'm saying? This happens, bro. This happens with insecure artists. They get so mad when people don't like their music. And it's like, bro, Grand Theft Auto 5 is not for everybody. You think the person that created Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to get mad when a person tells him, I don't like your game? Cool, it's not for you. I still sold millions of copies. You know what I'm saying? Minecraft is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the person who created Minecraft, I hate that game, But, and I talk about this shit a lot, like, thank God he wasn't insecure, because he was sitting on a game that he sold 146 million copies of. I think 200 million copies of, at least, probably more than that now. And that's just the game. That doesn't even include the Minecraft merchandise and hats and sneakers and clothing and all these other things. You know what I mean? So insecurity, man, like insecurity comes from us valuing other people's opinion. And that comes from us thinking that when people talk to us, they know what the fuck they're talking about. You think just because one person doesn't like your song, that they're the whole entire voice of the marketplace? You know how many content creators on YouTube, they have 25 people close to them that told them they don't like their channel, and thus they came to the conclusion their channel must suck, so they closed up shop. And do you know that these people were probably capable of 1 million subscribers if they would have kept pressing on, if they would have found their target audience, if they wasn't so fucking insecure that they value people's opinion so much that they dwell late at night thinking about how could people not believe in me? How can my mom not support me? How come, bro, sometimes the people closest to you, they care the least about what adventure you're setting out on. They don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, and here's why, right? In their defense, maybe it's because a lot of people spend way more time announcing than they spend time executing, So like if you're going to be a person that makes a lot of announcements, just know that there's going to be a lot of judgment that comes with that. Every time you make an announcement, people are like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I had an ex-girlfriend who she wasn't a fan of introducing her mom to her current boyfriends because she hated the feeling of, oh, what happened to that one dude you're dating? And then she has to explain the story of how much asshole he was or how much it failed. Like, people don't like talking about their L's and their failures. So she would just not tell her mom she has a boyfriend so that she doesn't have to deal with the ramifications of her mom asking about the boy that she used to date. Come to find out, the relationship went to hell. You know what I mean? People who hate talking about their L's. The reason I could talk about my L's is I just learned how to not have a negative opinion about your negative opinion on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you have the right. Who am I to try to dictate your mindset and what you think about me? You know what I'm saying? So not valuing people's opinions, that's going to be a huge thing. You know, but it doesn't mean you get so arrogant that you don't listen to people, right? Because even foolish people that spend 90%, like 95% of their time being foolish, you know what I'm saying a bunch of dumbass stuff that makes no sense and it's not relevant to you, right? Always make it a habit to listen to people. Let them talk. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it a habit to cut people off when they're speaking, because the most foolish people that you do not respect, they within 30 seconds they could say something life changing. They possibly can. You know what I'm saying? If you ever take the time to let them say it to you, you know what I mean? And when you prevent people from speaking, you're preventing a possible blessing from coming your way, because words could change lives, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy to think that you might be one sentence away from someone saying one or two sentences to you, and then that be the driving factor behind you not giving up on yourself. Like, it's really that deep. It could be, you know what I'm saying? You could be one lecture away, one fucking, I don't know, from from now shifting gears in your mind and having the mindset necessary for success and positioning yourself for it. So yeah, not valuing people's opinions so damn much. That's number one. And I'm talking about not just haters or random people online, but I'm talking about your mom, your dad, people you meet on PlayStation, bro. Like, me, bro, don't respect my opinion. Like, you're my friend and I love you, but don't respect my opinion so much that if I ever say something to you, you're like, man, I can't believe. Let me tell you, like, I got a friend. He's a rapper, you know, I rap as well too. And he respects me as an MC so much that my opinion weighs on his conscience so much that he feels like, man, well, if you don't like it, it must be bad. Bro, like, who am I to say that your music is bad? Don't you know music is a subjective thing? It depends on who's speaking. Like, everything is good depending on who's looking at it. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Just like Minecraft is not appealing to everybody, just like Call of Duty is not appealing to everybody, the content you create is not appealing to everybody. But because he respected me so much as an MC, he used to really feel bad when I didn't like his music. I'm like, bro, just because I wouldn't download your shit doesn't mean you don't have 4 million people waiting to download your shit. You just need to find who those 4 million people are and not get sad when 25 people fucking don't like your shit. Like, so what? There's 25 people. You think 25 people is the whole entire voice of the whole entire marketplace? You know what the whole marketplace is? It's all 7 billion of us in the world. That's the entire marketplace. You know what that means to me? That means that someone's going to like my content. Someone's going to like my podcast. You think I don't have haters? Bro, God has haters. Jesus had haters. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone's going to, like, as amazing as some of you might think my content is, some people hate this shit. Some people hate this motivational, positive. You know what I'm saying? I met some cynical people recently that they're so damn, like, I don't know. I guess, you know, their mentality is so twisted that me being kind, they think that I have an ulterior motive. They think that I'm being kind just so that I could try to deceive them and get something out of them. And, you know, and it's only a reflection of how they see themselves, you know what I'm saying? Or what they've been noticing, you know, like, we start meeting a lot of evil people and we come to the conclusion that the whole world is like that, as if good people don't exist. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, people, they might not be able to see you for how you are because they're too busy seeing you for how they are. Most people don't see you for how you are. You know what I'm saying? They see you how they are. That's why when men are cheating on their wives, they come home checking their wife's phone, expecting her not to be cheating, because in their mind, they're like, well, I must be doing it, so maybe she is. So let me check. You know what I'm saying? Insecure as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's always the guilty person that accuses the other person of being guilty of something. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Give me a second. Fear of failure. And so when it comes to facing your fears, I want to talk about that a little bit. When it comes to facing your fears, bro, you just got to know that the alternative of not facing your fear, just imagine you being in a retirement home, being 85 years old and being sad that you listened to your pessimistic neighbors that didn't give a fuck about your dream. They just cared about telling you to be realistic. Bro, I hate the word realistic. It's one of my most hated words. It's so limiting. Realistic. What does that even mean? Realistic according to who? According to what? You know what I mean? For something to be realistic means there's a standard on a bunch of things that, let me tell you something, bro. Like, do you know that people make money off ASMR videos? I'm sure you know that. I don't know if you people know what ASMR is. When you get on YouTube, type in ASMR and you'll see people making millions off of that. You know what I'm saying? Like millions of views off of that. It's crazy. Like that's actually a career. And ASMR is when you whisper into a microphone politely, when you take a piece of glass and you tap on it when you with your fingernails. It's supposed to induce some type of spine tingling sensation. I don't know. It's pretty weird, but that has a target audience. I'm not into those videos, but that's for somebody. Someone's gonna like that. And those ASMR people, they just need to find their target audience. Unfortunately, in this world, it's going to be somebody who says, I want to be an ASMR video, like a YouTube content creator. And people are going to be like, what's that? Then they're going to research what it is. And they're going to be like, yeah, you should not do it. Even though there's other people succeeding at it. And that's the crazy thing about life. If somebody did it, it's proof that it's possible. If one person in the world, it only takes one person in the world for someone to do something ridiculous, for the ridiculous to now be possible. You know what I'm saying? But before that one person did it, guess what? The ridiculous was still possible. It was within possibility. It's just that nobody in the world knew it until that one person became the example for everybody else on what's possible. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. So for me personally, I just want to be that. I want to be that for people and stuff. And you know what I mean? With these messages, with the mindset, with everything that I say, you know what I'm saying? Like when I meet insecure people, I don't want them to think that they have to be insecure just because their last 15 years were like that, and the next 15 has to look like the last 15. But look at the last 15 years of your life. Look at the last 6 years of your life. And if you don't like the way it's been, you got to change if you don't like what you've been sowing, you got to change what you've been reaping, because what you've been sowing is only it's only a reflection of what you've been reaping. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, bro, like they'll sow seeds, like they'll plant an apple tree, right? Or they'll plant they'll try to plant an apple tree. But what they're using is, they're using like, the seeds for a banana tree, and they know that it's a seed for a banana tree, but they want apples. So they plant the banana tree expecting apples, and then they get sad that it's not what they wanted. It's like, bro, you need to get the right seed so that, you know what I mean? So that you reap the right harvest. You know what I mean? People sow seeds of destruction into this world, and they wonder why when they reap a harvest of destruction, they're so surprised. You know what I mean? Like, so, anyways. So, yeah, man. So I just pray that, you don't value people's opinion, bro, because that right there is a huge deal. It's a huge deal, yo. When I was 14 years old, bro, I tell the story a lot. When I was 14 years old, my stepdad told me that I should get a haircut, which I didn't mind, but his reason for it was very weird to me. He said, so that when you go to your mom's job, you wouldn't want your mom you wouldn't want your mom's employees making fun of your hair or making fun of your hairline. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about my mom's employees. Why does my mom give a fuck about them? Like, they're random people, man. Like, if we were in a crisis, they would not help us. Why do we value people's opinion so much? So it's not the haircut thing that was bothering me. It was like, you want me to get a haircut so that other people don't have a negative opinion? Fuck their opinion. Why do we value their opinion in the first place? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was just weird to me. And in my mind, I was 14 years old. I was like, I can't believe this. My stepdad was 40 something at the time. I don't know how old, but I was like, why is this person insecure? Why is my mom insecure? Why do we normalize this shit? It was just so weird to me, man. And I'll never forget that moment when I was 14 years old, and I'm like, why do people live life like this? And I've saw what insecurity do to other people. And I simply said to myself, I refuse to have that shit in my life. Insecurity is not welcome in my life, bro. Like, we normalize depression. Depression is normal to some of you. Depression is not welcomed in my fucking life. It's not welcomed. You know what I mean? So like, if it tries to come to me, like, I'm going to deal with that shit immediately, and I'm going to kick it out of my life because I have no space for that to be in, you know what I mean? Like, some people think that that means that I got to be a robot to not feel emotions. And it's like, and some people actually called me a robot. They're like, yo, like, why do you not feel the emotions that are normal? And I'm like, why do we normalize emotions that are killing us? That's a better question. Because I ain't trying to normalize the shit that's killing me. I'm shortening my lifespan by normalizing shit that I don't want to feel. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, bro. So, you just don't know the alternative of not trying. You know what I'm saying? Just like the person that doesn't want to be an Uber driver because they're scared of a random person slitting their throat while they're driving from behind them. Like, just like, those people that are obsessed with the worst case scenario and they swear that the worst case scenario has to happen. That's pride, bro. That's ego. Like, how do you know the future? You don't know that the bad shit that you fantasize is going to happen. You just think that it is. Do you know that at least over 95% of the things that we vividly imagine that are like chaotic don't fucking end up happening at all and it comes nowhere near to happening? But when we're obsessed with worst case scenario, that's all we know how to imagine. So I challenge you to be obsessed with the best case scenario. You know what I'm saying? And focus on that, aim for that, because focusing on what could go wrong It keeps you dwelling. And if you keep dwelling, you might not want to take action because you're so scared of that happening. And here's why we're scared, bro. Like, it's because we have an inability to adapt. This is why we think that life should bend to us. It should adapt to us instead of us adapting to life. Like, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry you wish life would adapt to you, but it's not going to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry you wish people would be less annoying, but the people you complain about don't care about your complaints. You know, I'm sorry you wish people would not be so arrogant, be so prideful, so sinister, so selfish, so people wake up in the morning and they do what they prefer to be doing. And sometimes what other people prefer to do goes against your standard of how you think other men should live. But for as long as you have a standard on other people, you're always going to be frustrated by other people. So I challenge you to demand more from yourself than you do from other people, because the only thing you have control over is you becoming the best version of you. You have zero control over how mediocre someone else chooses to be. You know what I'm saying? You could have the conversation. You could be like, yo, bro, do you know that you're living way beneath your potential? But a lot of time that falls on deaf ears, you know. And Gary Vaynerchuk, he always says, yo, you know why I give my advice for free? Because 99% of you are going to do nothing with it. You're going to hear me talk. You're going to agree this a good idea. And then you're going to go back to the routine that you've been stuck in for 7 years. You know what I mean? Like, he tells people all the time, why are you doing TV commercials? No one watches TV commercials anymore. He's like, yo, if people are still watching TV, yeah, sure, I'm sure they are. But when a TV commercial comes on, they grab their cell phone and they're tweeting somebody. They're tweeting somebody about the dunk that LeBron James just did, but their eyes are not on a commercial. You know what I'm saying? And they're like contacting their friends. They're getting on social media. So he's telling people that's why it's better to do your Facebook ads, YouTube ads, because that's where consumers' attention is now. But people are so romantic about the things that they have been doing. They're like, yo, well, we've been doing TV commercials. We've been doing banner ads. We've been doing billboards. It's like, bro, people don't look at billboards anymore. They barely look at the road, because when they're driving, they're looking at their phone. You know, they don't even look at the road. They look at their phone and they're texting while they're driving. And if they're texting while they're driving, you think that if you put up a billboard as an advertisement, that people are going to consume your content? Like, so we're so romantic about doing things a certain way that we have the inability to adapt. And having that inability to adapt will crush you in your relationships, in your businesses, in your partnerships, in your friendships, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You're going to talk to people as if they, you know, we're going to have our expectations. And yo, recently I had somebody delete me because I guess I don't answer their text messages promptly enough for them. But it's like, bro, what makes you think I'll wake up in the morning to please you and meet your needs? Why are you so insecure that your happiness depends on me being the person that you need me to be in order for you to be okay? That means you're an emotional liability to yourself. You know what I mean? That means that you can't possibly be happy unless other human beings are functioning the way that you think they should. That's why I talk about this shit on nearly every podcast, because this is the shit that messes with our psyche, messes with our emotions. You know what I mean? It makes it so that we dwell, and all that time we spend dwelling, bro, this is why we don't execute on our dreams, our goals, our passions, is because we dwelled on how shitty society is and how much we wish people would change, how much we wish circumstance would change. You know what I mean? And it's like, wish that you were stronger. Never wish that life was easier, because life is not going to get easier. But when you get stronger, life does get easier then, only then. But life doesn't get easier for the weak person. It only gets it gets better for the stronger person. You know what I'm saying? If you're setting sail, if you're going into the ocean, bro, don't wish that the waves wouldn't be so harsh. Don't wish that the storm wouldn't come. Pray that you have the strength to endure the storm when it does come, because the storm is coming for you just like it's coming for me and everybody else. So don't wish away problems. Let your problems strengthen you and grow you into the person that God created you to be, because he ain't created us to be so damn weak that every problem that arises, we run away from them. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta just believe. You gotta believe that all the things that you want to do, that is possible. You know what I'm saying? The reason people don't take action is because they don't have a clear vision of the future. And when you don't have a clear vision of the future, because you're just sorting your own mind with all this fear and all this worry, all this panic, you know, it causes inaction, and it causes you to be like, well, if everything that I fantasize going wrong, if that's what's going to happen, what's the point of even trying if I'm going to fail anyways? People say that, you know, and it's better to spend a lot of time failing, because that failing means you're doing something, bro. Failing means you're actively trying, you know, like, you know, only the people that don't try, right? They don't know what failure is. They don't know what failure or what success is, because they never did anything. Like, there's no area for them to fail or succeed. And people rather live safe because they think it's safer to live that way than it is to be adventurous, entrepreneurial, than it is to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I was talking to someone recently and they was calling me a scammer. They was calling me all types of stuff, bro, because people's perception of a salesman is yo, you must be out scamming innocent people out of their money. And it's like, bro, every business, every job, every opportunity, it's all about solving problems. Every product that exists, it's about solving some type of problem. You know what I mean? Like, so, but the thing is, people view online businesses as you're not solving any problems. It's just a money scheme. That's how they see it. And that's why a lot of people, they're going to stay broke because they don't realize that the things that they criticize, if they got involved with it, right? And if they realize that a lot of these things are not a scam, they would see for themselves, you know, cause see, look, when it comes to rich people, bro, we look at their lifestyle and we admire the shit that they have, but we criticize them as people. And when you criticize someone as people, you won't see them qualified as being able to tell you how to get to where they are because you're spending all your time being envious, jealous, or hating them. So when you hate somebody, you won't take their advice. And you know what I mean? Then for me personally, I was like, yo, you know what? When it comes to the broke people, I don't want to go to the clubs that broke people will go to. I don't want to engage in the same conversations they have. I don't want to watch the shows that they have. I don't want to listen to the content that they consume. Like, because they're broke, you know what I mean? And if if I'm studying broke people, what do you think I'm going to become studying them? You know what I mean? So for me, I was like, yo, like, why not listen? Why not try to find a seminar of Bill Gates talking? Why not try to find a seminar of whatever rich person you could think of that you admire and listen to them speak, bro? Because rich people don't think like middle class people. They don't think like poor class people. And that's why they have what we don't. But the problem is we think that they're so lucky, you know? Like, you think rich people succeed by accident? You know what I'm saying? Like, they find a goal and they succeed on purpose. Yeah, a lot of them were born into their wealth. I get that. You know what I'm saying? But there's so much more. I believe, like, you know, I believe there's so many more people that they just had a bigger goal. They had a bigger vision and then they executed and they were obsessed with it. That's why they have what they have. It became an obsession. You know what I mean? And then they were qualified to have what they want. You know, so many people that want things, but to get what you want, you got to first deserve what you want. You know, most people don't deserve what they want. And mostly because they're not willing to put in the work. And they're not willing to put in the work because they value people's opinions. And they value people's opinions because they're insecure. And they're insecure because they think they need so much emotional support from their mommy and daddy and friends and family. And they think that that's how it should be. You know what I'm saying? I think people should be shitting on your dreams. You know why? Because it's a testament to you. How much do you want to accomplish your dreams? If you can't handle negative comments, maybe your dream is not meant for you. Because when you get to the top, you think Kanye West doesn't get negative comments still on his Twitter? You think fucking LeBron James, you think all these celebrities that they don't see the negative comments, that it's not, they don't get it? They get it even more when they're at the top. So you're always going to have haters, you know what I'm saying? Like, but people get so mad at the haters because we think that haters, they have no business hating. But what else would you expect from a hater? Would you expect love out of them? You expect them to love you? Like, it's a hater. You already acknowledge that it's a hater. So why would you expect anything different from a hater other than for them to hate you? Like, why would you expect love out of them? Why would you expect illogical people to be logical? Why would you expect irrational people to be rational? Why would you expect, you know what I'm saying? Like, we realize what people are, and then we expect other than what they are to come out of them. And it's like, bro, once you make the assessment that someone is a certain way, expect that from them. Don't you think that would be more logical? So these are the things that make us disappointed. We meet a bunch of unreasonable people and we just get so sad that they're like that. You know what I mean? And then we dwell on the fact that they should be different as if they wake up in the morning to please us, as if it's all about us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't even realize that when we spend a lot of our time calling people annoying, we're being selfish towards those people because we're making it seem like they don't have the right to have their personality type, whatever that is. Like, you don't have to like these people, you know what I'm saying? But I know that you complaining about other people, it's only going to keep you dwelling and then keep you not accomplishing your goals, bro. I don't have time to consume somebody's content for 2 minutes and then think about it for 2 minutes and then spend another 2 minutes typing out how much of a bozo I think they are. Like, what does that do for me, bro? It puts $0 in my pocket doing that. You know, but people have all the time in the world to do that type of stuff, you know, and maybe because they think it's a good use of their time. I don't know. But like, I feel bad for these people more than I like try to judge them and criticize them. Because it's like, bro, that's your highest goal is getting on a YouTube comment and making fun of somebody. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of us never get to where we want to be, because we spend so much time analyzing other people's shit, bro. Stay in your own shit, bro. Like, that's my biggest advice to you. Like, if you stay in your own shit, keep your mind inside of your head, you know, and focus on the things you want to accomplish, you won't be so consumed by what other people are doing. And I think you're already pretty good at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyways, so yeah, you just don't be obsessed with worst case scenario, because that's what keeps a lot of people held back from doing anything. They're obsessed with what could go wrong and they just stay there, man. It keeps them idle. It keeps them. And I got so many L's under my belt, bro. Right now, at the time of this podcast, I'm in my mom's house. I don't give a fuck what people think about that. I've never had a job. I don't give a fuck what people think about that. I'm about to be 29. I don't give a fuck what people think about that. Because just because, if you read the caption of this podcast, just because I'm down by 20 in halftime doesn't mean I can't win the game by 30 when the game is over. It doesn't mean that I can't, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that I can't possibly redeem myself. Here's what I can't do. And people act like I should get a time machine and go backwards and change the last 10 years of my life. I can't account for last times, but I could double up on the seeds that I sow. I could triple down on sowing more seeds, quadruple down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could at least get the money back. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I total up how much money I could have been making if I've been working these last 10 years, and figure out how the hell am I going to find a way to make that salary in 1 or 2 years. That shit is possible, bro. But when I say shit like that, people think that it's super unrealistic. Why is it unrealistic? Other people are doing it. What makes those people so different than me? Like, when it comes to salesmen, which I believe being a salesman that's the highest paying position in the world. Steve Jobs is salesman. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are salesmen that you wouldn't perceive them as being a salesman. Beyonce, she's a salesman. Jay-Z, salesman. I know that shit sounds crazy to you because you're like, what are you talking about? They're hip hop artists. Now, they're salesmen, yo. You think these people don't have products and merchandise? Like, when it comes to Jay-Z, he has Rocawear. He owns a 40/40 club. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a personal brand. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to Eminem, he's a salesman, bro. Like, because once he makes the music, the next thing is how can I pack a whole fucking stadium, and it takes a marketing plan. When you think of marketing, you think of advertisement. When you think of advertisement, you probably think of sales. These people are fucking salesmen, bro. That's why the richest people in the world, that's what they do. They're salesmen, and they bring a huge amount of value to the marketplace. And we get mad because we think what we don't perceive as valuable, other people shouldn't perceive as valuable. Like Lil Tay or Cash Me Outside, How About That, or Whoa Vicky or Tekashi 6ix9ine. Like, these are the people that sometimes we complain that they shouldn't have their spot. But it's only true according to our own subjective point of view. But if they shouldn't have their spot, then they wouldn't have had it, because there's millions of people that like these people, even if you don't, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to content creation, bro, I don't know what you do and what you do for fun. Don't ever let people get in your head and tell you that just because they think your shit is trash, that means it's trash. That's the opinion of one human being out of 7 billion. When I think about 7 billion, bro, 1 billion is 1,000 million. That shit is crazy. Like, sometimes it's hard to wrap my head around 1 million, let alone 1,000 millions. You know what I mean? So the reason I don't get discouraged when people tell me I'm never going to be shit, I'm like, cool. That's the opinion of one human being. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't get mad. Like, I feel like they can say whatever they want. And that's another thing, empathy. When you try to have empathy for people, you'll spend less time being discouraged by people, because you're trying to empathize that anyone who's trying to bring you down, they're already beneath you. That's why they're trying to bring you down. They probably feel a lot of emotions they don't want to feel, and they don't know how to not be toxic. Maybe if toxic people knew how to not be toxic, maybe they wouldn't be that way. Maybe if they had the right mentors, they'd come out differently. You know what I'm saying? And I know that these people got potential. That's why I don't get so frustrated by them, because the time that I spend getting frustrated by them, it's just time being taken away from time I could spend doing a podcast, writing a new song, speaking to more people, inspiring more people. Like, this is the shit that I love doing, bro. Like, and although I haven't monetized these speeches yet, doesn't mean that I never will, but people will try to tell me that that's the case. And I feel like it's okay for them to tell me that, because I don't value their fucking opinion in the first place. You see what I mean? So I'm just so fortified in my mind that, some of these celebrities, they hate the fact that they can't deal with their haters. You know how many people, bro, are Instagram famous, and then they screenshot one asshole that says something negative, and they screenshot it and they put a circle around it, and then they post that as their next piece of content, and they're like, thanks to this person, I'm never going to do Instagram Live again because they don't know how to be kind. You know what I mean? And then you blame other people as to why you can't be a content creator. And then, there's some people with 2 million fans, 3 million fans, and then they send a swarm of angry fans in the direction of that one person that messed up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's not their fault. It's not the haters' fault that you don't have no emotional stability. It's not the haters' fault that you're so naive that you think haters shouldn't exist. Haters are always going to be here. You know what I mean? Everything good in this world will be attacked. In this world, I don't know about the next world, but in this world, everything good will be attacked. All of your hopes and dreams will be challenged. All of your belief systems are going to be criticized. And we have to know how to deal with that shit when it comes. You know what I'm saying? Here's how most of us deal with it. We spend our time saying that it shouldn't be happening in the first place. People shouldn't be judgmental. People shouldn't be doing these things. People shouldn't be a certain way. And it's like people don't stop being what they are just because you think that they shouldn't be that way. People do what the fuck they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, those things are a bunch of things that you don't agree with, but they're not alive for you to agree with them. And just realize that you're your own entity. Like, you know, I'm not saying that you don't have conversations. You don't try to uplift. You don't try to tell people what's good for them or, you know, have these honest conversations. But a lot of times it falls on deaf ears. You know what I mean? Just focus on your shit, bro. Be so into your shit that you don't even have time to scroll through Facebook and see an inappropriate status and actually have the nerve to get mad that someone has an opinion different than yours. Who gives a fuck? Has nothing to do with your dreams, bro. Nothing to do with your dreams. So I went off topic a lot on this podcast. I'm pretty much I'm gonna close this down pretty soon. I hope I'm adding value. I cursed a lot. Once again, I apologize. I got to find, better words than fuck, bitch, cunt, piss, and you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I get passionate. I start cursing. So I got to find a way to not do that. So I hope I didn't offend any of you with that excessive cursing. But I hope that I hope that you have the maturity to see past the cursing and realize that I just conveyed a deep message that probably could impact your life positively if only you didn't nitpick the stuff that bothered you so much. You know what I mean? And that's the crazy thing about life. Some of us are such nitpickers. You know the type of people, bro. You write 2 paragraphs on Facebook and it's a very impactful, powerful, you know what I'm saying? It's really deep. And someone's like, oh, you spelled your wrong. You're supposed to put YOU, apostrophe RE. You know, how come you can't spell? How come you don't have good grammar? And it's like, bruh, how come you think this is school? How come you think you're a teacher, an English teacher? You know what I mean? That's a better question. But yeah, man, it's always going to be people like that. You convey a strong message and they could only focus on shit that bothered them. And these are the unaccomplished people because as they're focusing on everything that bothers them, they're going to lose sight focusing on the one thing that matters, which is figuring out why the hell were you created? Why are you on earth? You know what I'm saying? Are you on earth to waste all your time and that's it? And then just die and retire, have a family, and then, when you have your family, you spread the same insecurity that you grew up having. And then you normalize emotions that your kids now normalize. And then they have kids and they normalize that shit. And it's just a whole lineage of broken ass people that emotionally they're unstable and they think that that's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? That's it? Like, so it's like, why don't we try to become strong? Why don't we believe in a higher potential, bro? And trust me, like, I'm super like unoffended now, but I struggled with it for 2 years. For 2 years, I was like, yo, I'm going to be the most unoffended person. Like, I won't give your words permission to bother me anymore. You know how many people I had clown me for that? They was like, bro, you're always going to be offended. People are always going to get on your nerves. They were preaching their limitations to me, and they think just because they're limited ass people that I have to follow suit and be the same way. I was like, fuck that. You be offended, but I'm not going to be that way. I'm not going to be emotionally distraught. I'm not going to have zero control over my emotions. If that's how you choose to live, cool, but not for me. And I just obsessed over this shit so much that I got so mad, I started finding mentors that taught me better. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And now, guess what, bro? The people that made fun of me, that they said you're always going to be offended. It's crazy how the level of offense they have. It's crazy that they're still in the same place. And the only reason I'm not elevating myself above these people, but the only reason I elevated is because I didn't care to embrace the mediocrity that they tried to normalize. I didn't care for that shit, and I refused to accept that for my life. And it's not that I'm better than these people. I'm better than the mediocrity that they personally embrace for themselves. I'm above that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not above people, bro. I hope no one thinks that I think that. Because when it comes to the graveyard is going to equalize every man. Even if you had more than others, so what? Like, we're all going to die. You know what I mean? Like, the cemetery has rich men in it and it has poor men in it in the same graveyard, dude. So, it's definitely not an ego thing. But if there's anything that I do take pride in, it's trying to become the best version of me, man, because that's the only thing that I have control over. And I pray that you live out your hopes and dreams, bro, that you believe in a higher potential. And on a closing note, bro, like, to really like just nail it in, give me a second. Give me 1 second, bro. I apologize. I'm looking through notifications. To really nail it in, and this would probably be the last thing that I say, right? Your fear of failure, hold on, give me a second. So when it comes to facing your fears, you just got to have hope and a better potential. And don't let that hope die when life gets hard. because life is going to get hard. And when life gets hard, we start questioning the future. It's because we get so sucked into the present that we don't have hope for a better future. You know what I'm saying? Because we let this world steal our joy. So don't be that person that you let this world steal your joy and let you be pessimistic towards the future. I know a lot of people that think faith is completely useless and there's no practical use of faith. Like they think faith is delusion. They think faith is, and some of these people are agnostic. Some of these people are atheists. But guess what? Nothing is available to them for as long as they're pessimistic and they're so scared to take a chance, and they're going to spread that fear onto others. Everything in this world is made to manifest itself after its own kind. You know what I mean? Insecure people are going to spread insecurity. Motivational people are going to motivate it. It just seems to be the laws of the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what religion you guys believe in, God you believe in, but there's universal laws that govern this world that, you know what I'm saying, I think most of us would be able to agree on, like the law of sowing and reaping, the law of, you know what I'm saying, these type of things. So don't be pessimistic towards your future. Always be optimistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, the optimistic person sees a glass as half full. The pessimistic person looks at a glass of water as half empty. It's crazy how the same measure of water would have two different meanings to people depending on perspective. You know what I mean? The optimistic person looks out the window and he says, what a beautiful sunset, what a beautiful sunrise. Like, man, it's beautiful outside. The pessimistic person looks out the same window, doesn't even notice the sunset because he's too busy focusing on how he needs to clean his window. Man, that's a dirty window. You know what I'm saying? So perspective determines what you see. It's crazy how two people could look at the same thing and see two different things. And it's perspective that determines that. You know what I mean? So try to generate a perspective that benefits you more. Like one of the last notes that I want to end on, every perspective in this world that exists, it either serves you or it disturbs you. It's one or the other. It benefits you to have that perspective, to believe anything is possible, to know that anything is obtainable, or to be pessimistic as hell. You know what I mean? When you're pessimistic, you're rivaling against yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's better to be, in partnership with yourself by not standing in your own way, by having fear, doubt, worry, and panicking. Because when you do that shit, you're standing in your own way. And just know that those are the emotions that stand in the way of your dream. And to overcome that, you got to just believe, bro, regardless of what people say. Don't value people's opinion so much that you dwell on it. You got to just know. You got to try to find, and if you need help with this, bro, try to find someone that you might not find it in real life, but try to find it on YouTube and Google, right? People that have succeeded doing the things that you do. Like, there's 15-year-old kids, bro, who they make so much slime. They sell so much slime on Instagram that they're retiring their parents. You know what I mean? So to the kid that wanted to do that, all they would have to do is study other people that made so much damn money selling slime and study their brand, study when they put out content, what do they say? Study how they interact with their fans. Study, man. Make everything a study. You want success? Study successful people. You want happiness? Study happiness. You want inner peace? Study. This is the only way that I've obtained any of the things that I've obtained. I made it a study. You know what I'm saying? Like, I learned how to rap. And, I got better at rapping because I would study people that are better than me. You know what I'm saying? I would actually write out their rhymes, read it back to myself, and study the words that they, you know what I'm saying? Like the multi-syllable schemes that they would pair up with other multis. Like, I would study the patterns and I would study how they do it. You know what I'm saying? I would find words that rhyme that I never thought that you could put words together like that. I would study people that are masters of these things, and it just rubbed off on me because I would consume so much of that content that it made me a better writer. You know what I'm saying? So mentorship is very important. Man, I can't believe I didn't talk about mentorship a lot this podcast, but I'm gonna end it on this note. I know parents who, which this might be one of my next podcasts, parents that they feel bad that their kids didn't grow up to be the person they raised them to be. You wanted your kid to be a Harvard student and your kid is a thug toting guns and selling crack. Like, you know what I'm saying? And parents are very sad about that. They feel like I failed as a parent because my kid didn't do the thing that I wanted them to do. But what stands in the way of your kid doing what you want them to do is free will. Free will is always what stands in the way. Choices. We all have choices and stuff. So, although for the parents to feel bad, like, you might have raised your kid to be good. You might have raised them while you were in the house, but the streets mentored them. Hip hop has mentored them. And whoever's the mentor of your life has a lot of impact on your life. That's why kids look up to rappers. It's not because they're good people. It's not because they're good role models. It's because kids like money. They like, they grow up to see these people with all these women, like dudes are like, man, I want a lot of women like that. So it starts portraying this message. If you want what I have, I'm the one that's qualified to teach you how to get these things. And then they start having bad role models, and they take mentorship from the wrong mentors. You know what I mean? So the reason that kids come out messed up is because although parents raised them, somebody else mentored them. And whoever's the mentor has the dominance, man. Like, they have the power. So for me, once I start having millions of followers, that's just going to be one of my list of priorities. Focusing on mentoring people to how to get rid of emotions that are killing them, how to overcome doubt, fear, worry, panic, anxiety, all these things we normalize, and then we try to manage. We try to manage emotions that we wish we could just get rid of. We don't have the heart to ask our doctors, how do we completely get rid of anxiety? And they don't have the heart to want to tell us, here's how you do it, because for as long as you're taking their pills, you're just managing your anxiety and they're monetizing your pain. So it's a win-win for them and a lose-lose for you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. So I hope this encouraged you. You know what I mean? If I strayed off topic a lot, I apologize, but I danced around the topic a lot. But I hope everything that I incorporated relates in some way to whatever it is that you needed to hear from me today. You know what I'm saying? So I'm done with this recording. I'm going to send it to you now, bro. Love you very much. Can't wait to talk to you, man. And take care. See you on the next podcast.